Another week, another day in the apocalypse. You know the drill, so I'm going to talk about it now. Also, that's a spoiler warning for episode 7 of The Last of Us. If you haven't seen episode 7, you're more than welcome to stick around. Just know that I'm going to ruin it for you. Right, so episode 7 is titled Left Behind, which is the title of the DLC for The Last of Us, which is the chapter we're covering. It's a flashback now that Joel's been impaled by a baseball bat. Ellie's scrambling, and then it flashes back to her hanging out with her friend Riley. The events that were covered in The Last of Us Left Behind DLC, and this actually affords me an opportunity, most timely. This video is a little different than the other Last of Us videos I've done because I haven't played the DLC, I know. I've told a couple people that, they're like, that's weird. DLC is hard for me, man. I'm invested in this world and in this story, and by the time the DLC comes out, I'm like, I'm on to other things. So I never played The Last of Us DLC, which means I'm watching this episode, not comparing it to the game as much. I know people are like, you shouldn't do that. I didn't grow up on Vulcan. I don't know how to turn that shit off. But it was cool to take in the drama of the episode, not caring whether or not it was accurate, just did it play well. So Storm Reed plays Riley. I thought her and Bella Ramsey had great chemistry together. Storm Reed was also great in that missing or searching. It's one of the two. But this was a good time for this flashback episode to happen. You know, we've seen why Joel is very standoffish. But then after Ellie had that monologue of like everyone who I've ever cared about is either dead or gone, we see the episode that feeds into that. And really it's Ellie hanging out in this facility where eventually she will become, you know, part of the establishment. Riley's left that to become a Firefly. These established groups, one could call them establishments, who work to fight the establishment. They're just trying to usurp that establishment to make their establishment the establishment. You're gonna be just as bad as the other guys. I like the fact that the show at least does touch on that. Point is, Riley and Ellie go to their small. It's actually very endearing and sweet. You know, I guess that's a common human theme. People on escalators do exactly what Ellie did on escalators. If you haven't, you have one homework assignment after this video is go to an escalator, turn around, and walk opposite the escalator so you don't move at all. Everyone has to, if you haven't done that, I'm concerned for you. My favorite part, you know what my favorite part's gonna be. How long have you known me? That's right, MK2. Ellie had a little MK2, looked like a newspaper clipping. It was the title of MK2. I was like, okay, that's cool. I didn't know I'd actually hear the chimes. Hear those notes, those lovely notes in full arcade glory. That's what took me back, is the fact that it's in an arcade and you hear that. I'm like, well, that's Mortal Kombat 2, but with the ambience of an arcade. And now I'm being taken back. That is actually pretty incredible. I like the fact that they actually had the music and sound effects from the game. I mean, there is a connective tissue there. HBO, Warner Brothers, WB Games, NetherRealm Studios, Mortal Kombat 2, right. But I'm just used to TV shows showing someone playing a game. I'm like, wow, Mom, thanks for the Super Nintendo. This racing game is great. I don't know why I'm button mashing the living fuck out of this controller. That's definitely also not for a Super Nintendo, but that's how we do it on TV. No one actually games like this unless it's, you know, Tetris. Yet here we are. I mean, they're button mashing, absolutely, but it feels different than other shows and movies that have button mashing because they wouldn't know how to play Mortal Kombat 2, though Riley knew how to do 2 fatalities. I like that in the apocalypse, she's researching the important shit, because it is. I will say when Riley did Melina's fatality, she does like a 3-button combination. I was like, that's not that fatality. Although the sound effect did happen before she did that, so she might have just done it and then pop, 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 pop. Look, in the 90s, we had some really ritualistic shit when it came to an ass beating in Mortal Kombat 2. Some people danced, some people just hit buttons, some people just went with the controllers. They were intense times, my friends. Regardless, the point is, Riley is down with those times. That impresses me. That Baraka fatality, though, back forward, down forward, low punch, that's legitimately what the fatality is. So it's like, but thank you. I love on-screen video game accuracy. It's a thing with me. As for them palling around in the mall, one thing was always certain. This is not going to end well. So you see where Ellie gets her bite from. Also, Riley took a bite. And they're both just chilling there. Do we kill each other? Do we kill ourselves? I don't like that option. Maybe we'll just sit here. Cool thing is, I don't know how the game illustrated it. Like I said, it's like, did it just leave them there with their bites? It might be a flashback for another time. For dramatic purposes, you know what you need to know. Ellie's alive, Riley got bit, we know how that goes down. I mean, on the basis that Riley is not being hauled across the country to go to this Firefly facility for a cure. Maybe it's the most clever marketing ever. It's like, you want to see what happened to Riley? Buy the game now for $69.99, full price for the 3rd time. And there seems to be 2 more episodes left, and these last 2 episodes are going to be fantastic. I mean, say that on the faith of the rest of the show leading up to this point. I'm just saying, knowing what the next 2 episodes should be, good stuff. Really lighthearted shit, too. It's gonna be fine. Don't even worry about it. Bring the kids. All right, so The Last of Us Episode 7, titled Left Behind. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.